guys, today's video is a foundation first impression / wear test on an extremely expensive foundation. It is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Longwear High Cover Foundation that I've been seeing everywhere lately. It's crazy. This foundation is 70 Canadian dollars, which I think is like 64, 65 US dollars, which is insane. Literally gonna eat Kraft dinner and Mr. Noodles all week to be able to afford this. So you can be sure that I will tell you if this is worth it or not, because unlike a lot of huge YouTubers, $70 is like a legit money for me. So I ordered mine in the shade 2. I had to order it online because my Sephora doesn't stock it, and I ordered in the shade 2 because I've seen videos of people using shade 1 who are normally about the same kind of lightness as me, and it was way too pale. If you are extremely pale, like way paler than me, and with like a pinky white undertone, I think shade 1 would work for you. Let's try this out. So that's like 2 pumps there. Not as pale as I thought, actually. It looks quite dark in comparison to the shade 1. I feel like there's quite a big jump, but I think it will work for me for sure. I would say comparable to like an NC10 in MAC. All I've done is washed and moisturized my face. I'll do a little of this action. So I think you can see that the shade is definitely more neutral to yellow. There's one half of my face versus the other half. It looks really nice and natural. It is like pretty much set already, actually. Very velvety smooth finish. What I like about it is that it was so thin, yet it gave decent coverage. I would not give this full coverage, at least not with just the one layer. I would say it's probably like solid medium. Definitely doesn't have any dewy in it, but I feel like it doesn't make my face look really powdery and dull either. Okay, so I'm gonna try the brush on this side. I've got kind of a face demon to cover up over here. So I'm gonna use this kind of flat top foundation brush. It's from the Vanity Planet brush set. So it didn't cover that pimple right there, but it's pretty raised up, so I wouldn't really expect to. As far as like Beauty Blender versus brush, I think they look pretty much the same. So I'm not wearing a primer, and I'm not going to set it with powder. I do feel like it has like a decent powder finish on its own. I do feel like it is transferring a little bit, maybe. Feels like I'm wearing air. Honestly, I feel like I've got absolutely nothing on my skin. I will say that I feel like this shade works really well for me. It does look a little bit more pale on camera than it does in my mirror. I'm loving the way that it's not sinking in immediately to, I have like a crease here. Any little texture or pores on my skin is very minimized right now. Another thing, it doesn't look like it's oxidizing too badly. Like, this is where the foundation was on my hand, and it does not look orange whatsoever, so that is a plus. So right now, I would say if you like a more on the matte side, lightweight, medium coverage foundation that looks like skin and smooths out any kind of texture, I mean, who wouldn't? This is amazing. But of course I do have kind of oily skin, and I will end up being shiny at the end of the day with most foundations, so I am curious to see how it holds up. That's really the true test. That will be what tells me if it's worth money. So I have to go to work today, so I'll be gone for like the next 9 hours, and I will be back to show you how it held up. But guys, the foundation has been on all day long, and It looks pretty good actually. So I feel like the foundation actually stayed on really well on like my cheeks, decent on my chin. I mean, it is worn off a little bit. My glasses marks don't seem to be as like gross as usual. I feel like there's usually like a lot of product buildup kind of around it and it's shifted a lot, but it actually isn't too bad right now. I do think that I am a little bit shiny. I think shinier than I thought I was gonna be, because like if I feel my skin now, like I do feel like a little bit greasy, that's for sure. I mean, I think that's my skin. The foundation didn't make it any more oily. It definitely controlled some oils because this is not nearly as bad as what I normally would be, but that being said, it didn't keep me completely matte. But I'm okay with that because the foundation looks so good. So I mean, you can see that it wore off on my nose a little bit, like I am red there. But I like when foundation wears gracefully. It didn't like sink into this line too bad. It didn't sink into these lines too badly. It didn't go gross. Like there are some foundations that at the end of the day look disgusting. This one doesn't. Is it perfect? No. Did it wear off in some places? Yes. So is this worth $70? I'm going to say yes based on how it looked when I applied and how it looked for most of the day. I love the way it looks. I've never had a foundation make my skin look so smooth and so perfect. Yeah, I really, really like it. So I think if you have normal to combo skin, this would probably work the best for you. I'm not totally sure about dry skin. I found that it didn't cling to any dry flakes. I do sometimes have some issues right here. So maybe people with dry skin would like it too. Really oily skin, it might look okay, but like I said, I did get a little bit shiny, so it's not like your Estee Lauder double wear. So thank you guys so much for watching, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy foundation reviews, and I will continue to do so. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one.